Good afternoon. Good afternoon, all. I, Dr. Anchal Rani, academic consultant from CIET NCERT, welcome you all in the district-wise online orientation program of PRASHAST application for Palakkad, Kerala. First, I like to thank Krishna Kumar KN, district coordinator of Kerala, who is helping us to coordinate this training program, and there is more than 400 participants. So welcome, sir. And I also welcome Deepa Joseph ma'am, who will help us to translate this session in Malayalam. From CIT NCERT, I like to welcome Hemlatta Rajput ma'am and Ajay Prasad sir. Both are consultant in CIT NCERT. We also have our technical team with us for the live streaming of this program on the NCERT official YouTube channel. So as we already mentioned that this orientation program is for the PRASHAST application, and this application is launched in 2022. This application is designed for the screening of all 21 disabilities which are mentioned in RPWP Act 2000. After the launching, we received many feedback from the ground. On the basis of the feedback, we revamped this application and launched a new revamped version in 2025. And for this version, this orientation program is planned, and we are with us to tell you how this application works and how you can use this application for the screening of all 21 disability at school level. So I have Ajay sir with me. So Ajay sir, I'd like to request you to kindly tell us how this application we can use and what is this application is for design.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, going forward, first of all, I would like to brief you about the application. This application is for screening of students, so that we can identify or we can screen of students with the disabilities so that they can be provided support at the early age. This application do not mark this application cannot be used as a diagnostic tool for any of the disability. This is just a screening tool for students in school. So Prashast, as we all know, was launched in 2022, and currently we are using the same questionnaire as we did in earlier application. This is just an enhanced version where we have streamlined some of the processes and added more features to it. So before proceeding, we would like to know from all the participants, like all teachers and ma'am, sir and ma'am, like what are the can you name some of the disabilities which we cannot see by our naked eyes, or we can which are not visible in our day-to-day life? Like for example, if we see a student or someone who is suffering from these disability, we cannot just look and say that they are suffering or they are having these disabilities. Can anyone name those disabilities? You can either unmute your mic or you can write on in chat box. Like,
Which disability, sir?
Visually impaired.
You can write your answer in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am.
Low vision.
Low vision, yes, ma'am.
Hearing,
yes. So, yes, ma'am. And we have also listed the same in as per RPWD Act, there are 21 disabilities marked. So we have tried to bring a segregation on general terms like disabilities which we can see visually, or there are few disabilities which needs to be either tested, or there are other symptoms that need to be monitored.
So, sir, we received 3 or 4 answers like learning disability, hearing impairment, low vision. 3 answers we received. And I like to request our participant, please don't mention your name in the chat box. Ajay sir is posting pre-test in the chat box. Kindly fill the pre-test your attendance automatically marked with us. Also, your email ID we received, so we can share the advocacy material with you after the completion of the meeting. So kindly fill this questionnaire given in the chat box, and your attendance automatically marked.
Yeah,
And so we are waiting for the answers.
yes, ma'am. So I'm also looking into the chat box. So the Precious, so we have a query over Precious app is not working in iPhone. What's this, ma'am? Ma'am, we would like to update you. Like Precious application is currently working on iOS and Android. We request you to just go to App Store in iOS and check for the latest version. Okay. Yeah. So, like we can see, there are some of the disabilities that we have marked in this slide, like intellectual disability, specific learning disability, which we call SLD in short, autism, mental illness, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson disease, hemophilia, thalassemia, and sickle cell disease. So these are the major disabilities that needs to be screened, or there should be or someone should observe the symptoms that are there with the individual.
So basically, sir, all these disabilities which are mentioned in the RPWD Act can, with the help of PRASHAST application, we screen all these disabilities.
Yes, ma'am. We can screen all these disabilities through application because the application has 63 behavioral questionnaire in screening part one. And for example, we'll be explaining all step by step, like how we take forward for screening part one and screening part two. But for current question, I would say yes, these all can be screened through this application.
Through this application. So, who are the stakeholders who can work on this application, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Major stakeholder in this application are like head teacher. Yes, ma'am.
And then goes.
Please continue, sir.
Yes, ma'am. The major stakeholders are head teacher, teacher, and special educator. So going forward, we'll be seeing the role of each individual stakeholder. First, I'll be talking about head teacher. Head teacher or the principal or the head of the school will be responsible for overall monitoring and supervision of precious screening in his or her school. The major role of head teacher is to allow special educator onboard teachers in his school and assign classes to each individual uh, for screening. And this is like assign classes for screening part one and part two. Whereas for teachers play a very important role in this application because they will be screening each and every student. So it's a major role because if teachers are able to mark behavior correctly, then only the students or the child would be getting will be processed for further steps. So teacher would be conducting screening part one, where a special educator would be doing the screening part two, and this will be done only for the students which for which the teacher or has been marked in screening part one with some of the behaviors given in the checklist. So now I'll be giving, yes, ma'am.
So these are the stakeholders who can work this on this application. Also, the responsibility to need to perform on the application. Now we also have Hemlatta Rajput ma'am with us. So, ma'am, when are you with us?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So, as Ajay sir told us, teacher, special educator, and headmaster can work on this application. And there screening part. He also mentioned part one and part two. So, what are the basic difference between both screening part one and part two?
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. We will explain here that how the part one and part two is different from each other. Let's see. We will see that part one. That's a part one screening is done by the teacher here only. And when we are saying the teacher means the regular class teacher who knows their children well. Only that teacher is going to screen the students under the part one. Now, the part one consists of 63 statements. If Ajay can change the screen slide over there, Immediately the difference can be shown over there. 63 statements consist in part 1. Here, what the teacher has to do? At least students observe 7 to 15 days continuously, and then after you can start the screening part 1. Here, the most important is that the students need to be observed by the teacher continuously in a classroom, in a school, and their behavior and their action should be observed by the teacher, and then they read the 63 statement, and whenever they find the alignment with the statement, that statement only selected by the teacher here. If you don't find any alignment with this 66 statement, you can select none of the above. Means these students are going to be auto closed. It means these students are not going to be screened by special educator. And those students you have selected in the 63 statements, means 63 statements if you have selected for your student, these students are going to be screened by the special educator under the part 2. Let's see what exactly the process in the part 2 and what do you mean by part 2 screening. Now this screening is done by the special educator, and special educator is mainly responsible for this screening after screen by the part 1 by the teacher basically. Now when you receive the part 2 screening for the students, you have to be very, very careful that you have to log in first of all your application and see that any bell button is there. If the bell button showing any notification, you have to click on that. You have to accept the screening for the part 2, and then you start the screening for the part 2. Now in part 2, you have a number of disability to select for the children. You have to observe your child thoroughly, and then you select the disability belongs to the particular child, or you found any symptom among these children. Okay, so once you complete this session for the part 2, the data will be submitted for the screening part 2. So specifically, a special right is given to the special educator. If they found that part 1 screening has mismatch with the children behavior, then you can edit also. If you want to add some more disabilities symptoms, you can add also. If you want to add observation for the child as a special educator, you can add also. So highly the major responsibility for the part 2, which is an in-depth screening, needs to be done by the special educator. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Hemlatta ma'am. So this is the part 1 and part 2 screening. And part 2 screening is done by the teacher and part 2 screening done by the special educator. So now we understand this is the processed application, who are the main stakeholder, and how this part 1 and part 2 screening will be done. So now we should know how this application we can download in Android and iOS devices, and how we can log in the this application. So Ajay sir, I'd like to request you to kindly demonstrate that downloading process and the login process to our viewers.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be taking you through the login and down processes for using this application. To begin with, let's see how can we download this application. So currently, Precious application is available on Android, Play Store, and also on App Store for iOS devices. So we request you to go to the Play Store in Android and App Store in iOS. So we will be taking you through the process in an Android phone. So first, after entering into the Play Store, please search for Precious application by typing the name Precious. Over here, we can see the application is published by NCERT. And once the application is installed, we can use the application through the icon on the home page. After clicking on this icon, the splash screen will appear, and along followed with a buffer screen where Ministry of Education's logo and NCERT's logo is there. And moving forward, a brief detail about Precious, and then we come to a page for login. And for login, here we have used Meri Pehchan as a sign-on process for signing in the application. So here we have two options to log in. First, it is with login with Aadhaar, and second with the mobile number. So this mobile number should be linked with the Aadhaar because Meri Pehchan is using details linked to DigiLocker that is updated with the Aadhaar. Okay. And we have also made sure that if anybody wants to read the book, they need not register first. They can access it at the time of registration on the same page as below. You can see view ebook. So And before going forward, I would request all the users who will be logging in for the first time, please use login with Aadhaar as a first preference, so that the OTP, like when once we enter the Aadhaar number, the OTP, you will be getting an OTP on the Aadhaar linked mobile phone. After clicking on sign in, you will get a consent page. Over here, we want to make sure that we are just fetching details like name, date of birth, gender, and we are not touching any information or document in your DigiLocker account. This is meant only for verification of individual and providing an access to this application, Prashast. Oh, okay. Once we allow over here, you'll get a processing screen, and then the individual will be given access to the application. Okay. So here, before proceeding further, I would request everyone to check if the name is correct in this role selection page. If the name is incorrect, or if you find any discrepancy, we request you to please try editing in DigiLocker. And for details like name and date of birth, you have to go to Aadhaar Center to get it corrected in your Aadhaar details.
So, Ajay sir, as you told us that how the application can be downloaded, and it is very easy process, and we can log in through the Aadhaar or the mobile number. So, if some and here is showing that the person who registered in the application will find their name in the at that page. If any case the user will not find their name, so what he or she need to do?
Yes, ma'am. If the user's name is incorrect or there is any discrepancy, we request user to go to uh, Aadhaar centers and get the name corrected over there. Okay.
Okay,
So
so
yes, ma'am.
they can they correct their name by on self through the DigiLocker or Meri Pehchan?
Ma'am, DigiLocker, it can be correct only if the user has not completed its profile while logging in to into DigiLocker. If the profile is complete or the incorrect name is has been fetched from Aadhaar, then they have to go to Meri Pehchan or Aadhaar centers for the corrections. In DigiLocker, we can only correct email and mobile number linked to DigiLocker.
Okay, thank you, Ajay sir, for explaining the process how we can correct the information if the name is not showing. But it is necessary to correct their name, then move forward.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now, after this page, we need to select the role, as you mentioned. And here are three stakeholder: teacher, special educator, and headmaster.
Headmaster.
So, Himlata ma'am, my question to you: how these three person can select their role in this application?
Sure, ma'am, sure. Let's see as a head teacher how we are going to select this role. Let's see one by one. Yeah. Now you can see the screen, that is a role selection page here. Once as a head teacher, we have to log into application with the Aadhaar number, and immediately you will get this page for the role selection. As a head teacher, you have to click on the head teacher and you have to click for the. Now you can see that head teacher you have selected for your profile. Now you have to enter the school UDIS number here, as well as the UDIS link school email ID here, and you have to continue then after. We request you that please use UDIS link email ID for the school. If it is not available or any problem you are facing, then and then you can use your email ID, personal email ID. Otherwise, I will request that please use your UDIS link email ID for your school. Next, please. So now you can get the notification. Do you want to continue with this detail? If your detail is correct, means your UDIS number is correct, your email ID is correct, then click on this yes button. I'm just going to click on this. Let's see. Now you can see that my profile as a Anchal Rani, as well as my details were there as per the Meri Pehchan. And if it is all this correct, I'll just submit this button and click on this. So I'm just try to submit my information and see the successful completion of profile message I have received here. Let's see. As a head teacher, now I am registered for this application, and this dashboard will be observed in my application once I register as a head teacher. So this is my role selection for the head teacher. Let's see the role selection for the teacher. How we can do for the teacher. Same thing. You have to register yourself with your Aadhaar number and you get this profile page where you have to click on this button, and then you can see the options available: teacher, special educator, head teacher. You have to select as a teacher. I'll just click on the teacher one, and you see that my profile is available. I need to fill this. If I am a TGT teacher or PGT teacher, I need to select that. And if I am teaching in foundational, preparatory, middle or secondary, accordingly, I have to select the option and I have to submit that. Once I submit, the same information confirmation notification I see. Do you want to continue with this detail? If all the information is correct from your side, you can click on yes. And if you want to edit further, go by no and change your information accordingly. So I'm just clicking on yes because I have filled all the information correctly. So once I click on yes, see my profile has registered as a teacher and Sanskar Porous as a teacher, and detailed information fetched from the Meri Pehchan. So this is the teacher's profile I have registered. I have successfully completed this profile. Now, after this completion, I received a message as a teacher that I have registered for this particularly school. So, dear Sanskar Porous, you have successfully registered as a teacher on PRASHAST. This notification I received in my application. Now, the next immediate page is that add school. After registering as a teacher, you receive this add button, add school button. You need to click on this and enter your school UDIS code so that you can request to your principal that you are a teacher and you want to work in the school system. Now, this notification received by the principal, and principal will approve you that you will be a teacher in the school and you will work for this. This process will later on in this application, in this presentation, we will show it to you. Yeah. Now, once you register yourself, your request will be sent to the school system. You can see that this request I have sent to the principal. Now, you can see that this is my profile. Now, here the green notification is there, awaiting approval from head teacher, that is Ajay Rani. Now, this notification shown because my approval pending with ma'am, that is the head teacher. Now, once they approve, I will get this different notification that my application is approved by the head teacher. Now, this is the process we have done for the teacher as a role selection. Similarly, we do the role selection for the special educator. Let's see how we will do. Same thing. After registering with the Aadhaar number, we need to select in a role as a special educator. We'll select special educator here and click on that. Yes, we click on that and see that is a special educator role. And I need to add CRR number, UDIS number or Diksha ID number. Out of three, anyone can I enter here. I will request you, please enter your UDIS code here. And then you can continue.
Some of the users.
So once you continue here.
Hemlatta ma'am.
Yeah.
Users ask us ki they don't have CRR number and they don't have UDIS code because they are working at the block level or cluster level. So which UDIS code they can use for the registration, or all these three are mandatory?
Out of this, any one is mandatory for them. If they don't have a CRR ID, it means I think special educator must have, but if they don't have, means we need to check that whether they are applicable or not. But CRR ID for the special educator is an essential component. But if they have a UDIS code for that particular school, in the school they want to give a service, because this is for the special educator who is working in the school system. But if they are not working in the school system and providing service at the block level, they can use the UDIS code of the school where there is no special educator. Okay, and they can support with this. But we request that either you are working on this block level, you use your CRR number, or if you are working in the school system, use your UDIS code number.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So once you enter this information, the information fetch for your profile from the Meri Pehchan, and this is the information correct or not, you need to check, and then you have to submit button. You have to click this button. Now, again, the notification asks, do you want to continue with this profile and correct according to you? If it is correct, click on the yes button. Now, once you complete this profile, you can see that the complete profile, you can see a processed account number, you can observe, your detail will be observed in your application. Now, next one. Now, you receive the notification as a special educator that you are registered on this processed application. Now, same thing, we have also as a special educator add school here. So in which school you are want to work, click on this add school button and enter the UDIS code number of that particular school in which you are going to work. This option is given for the special educators. They can add number of schools here. So there is no limitation for the special educator. They can add n number of schools. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Hemlatta. So after the login and role selection, the request sent to the headmaster. And when the headmaster approve their request, then they can see the dashboard. Okay, and they can work for the school they are requested. Okay. So now, Ajay sir, I'd like to request you after the login and role selection, the teacher, headmaster, and a special educator dashboard, how it's look and what are the functions which are they can see and can use for the screening of the process at the process application.
Yes, ma'am. So I'll be briefing you about the dashboard of the stakeholders, that is head teacher, teacher, and special educator on PRASHAST application. So first and foremost, let's see the dashboard of a head teacher. So head teacher has been given responsibility to manage overall school. So for that, we have provided an overview section where a teacher can see total number of students onboarded on PRASHAST application. Secondly, total number of students screened by teachers in screening part one, and followed with the total number of students screened by special educator and auto close. Here, we would like to highlight auto close is the number for which will be which are the number of students in a school who has been detected with no disabilities. Like when a teacher will be doing screening part one, then if he or she selects that the student has none of the disabilities or none of the behavior as listed in checklist in part one, so those students will be reflecting in auto close, whereas other students who will be screened by special educator would be seen as closed by special educator. And the next part is like to-do list. This talks about the responsibility given to the head teacher. So first is the managed teacher, where the head teacher will be allowing teacher or allowing teacher to conduct responsibility in the school. Secondly, manage special educator, where he'll be approving the special educator in his or her school. Then assign screening. Assign screening is a part where the head teacher will be giving screening responsibility to teacher and special educator. Then manage student. Then we have view my survey, where screening part one and part two, where the head teacher can see the detailed report of screening part one and part two. Then we have teachers. Over in teachers, as we all know, that teacher would be conducting only screening part one. So we have just given the details of screening part one or the final figures that the teacher would be conducting. Secondly, in to-do list, teacher has only responsibility of conducting screening part one, and this I'm not saying only responsibility, but this is a major responsibility that teacher would be having, because they have to screen all the students in his or her class. Along with that, we have provided access to the report that they will be submitting in screening part one. And this is a third dashboard. And this dashboard is up for special educator. Here, as I want to highlight over here, the special educator will be associated with multiple schools in his or her district or state. Oh, sorry. And the special educator can see total number of students assigned to him, followed with the number of school to which he or she is associated, and third, the detailed screening part to report. And there's one more feature that is important, which is add school feature. This feature allows special educator to uh, get associated with n number of schools uh, in his or her geography. Okay. And yeah, yes, ma'am. So going forward, we'll be seeing like how the further roles take place.
Okay. So this is the three dashboard of teacher, headmaster, and special educator. So now when the role are selected, the request sent to the headmaster. So now, ma'am, my request to you, request to you, how the headmaster can verify the teacher and a special educator in the PRASHAST application. Hemlatta ma'am, please unmute your mic.
After the registration on the PRASHAST application, the notification sent to the principal, and the principal has to verify the teacher. And how this verification process will be done, I'm going to showing here for the participant. Let's see. Now you can see the dashboard for the teacher, head teacher here, dashboard for the head teacher here. Now here the green button is the manage teacher. We need to click on this. For the teacher, we have to click on this. Let's see. Now, once you click on this, you will see the Sanskar Porus as a teacher requested us for the acceptance. So it is in a pending list. Once I accept this, it will be in the accepted list. Let's see. I'm going to click on this. See, again, this notification came to here. Are you sure you want to approve this teacher's onboarding process or request? So yes, I want to accept this. So I'm going to click on yes. Now, the notification, the teacher's onboarding request was accepted and added to the school system. Now, Sanskar Porus is added to my school. Now, you can see that I have accepted the request. So, it is in accepted list. And if I want to reject, I can reject also. So, this is the verification process for the teachers. Now, we'll say that how we will verify the special educator. Yeah.
This is very simple. When a teacher log in and select their role, a request sent to the headmaster, and a headmaster can see this request in the manage teacher tab.
Correct, correct. Just headmaster needs to be aware that this button needs to be click on and give the approval. Okay.
Just single click is required only for the
yes. Yes. Okay. Can we go for the special educator?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See the how the headmaster will do verification for the special educator. Same thing. Beside this manage teacher, there is a button for the manage special educator in a yellow color. We may need to click on this. We are going to click on this. Yes, we'll click. Let's see. Here the pending list from the special educator. Special educator name is Dharampal Singh, who has requested me. Now I need to check this profile. I'm just click on this, and special educator Dharampal Singh, his email ID, birth date, if this is correct according to the profile available to the school system, I need to accept this profile as a special educator. And I am going to accept this. Yes. I have accepted. So the final notification, the special educator has been successfully added to the school system. Now there is no name available in pending list because I have already accepted Dharampal Singh. Now see the list name is available in accepted list. Yes, it is available in the accepted list. And this notification sent to the Dharampal Singh that you are now become a special educator for this particular school. Yeah.
Ajay, for the part 1 screening and we receive a question in the chat box. This is Sindhu sir question. We have done all these procedures last year, but the app was not working.
Okay, sir, the app was not working, sir. So can you just unmute and give us details, like, or is it like you have done it manually or you have done it in previous applications? So I'm just this confusion.
Sir, can we request all the participants to just delete this application and download again? At least one.
At least,
Yeah.
ma'am, because this application was launched on September 1st, and before and July 30th was the cutoff date for last application, like the previous one that everybody was working since 2022. Okay, and after 1st September, which was official announcement date of PRASHAST application, after that, the data that was the students who were screened till 30th July has been migrated to this application, and the other incomplete screening or the students who were left or partial screening was done, so that has not been carried forward.
Okay, so just delete once and download again this application, and if you face the same difficulty, you can contact us and write us an email at the Prasad help desk. So our technical team will contact you and resolve your issues. We receive one more question. Can you please tell once again how a teacher should upload the details of a student?
Yes, ma'am. We'll be taking this step further. Like right now, we are at assigned classes. Just after this process, will be showing, like explaining how a teacher can add student in his or her class.
We have three hand raised. One Lakshmi Shiva ma'am, and one from Xiaomi, and one from Oppo devices. So if you have any question, you can ask.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Please.
If anyone have any doubt, they can write us in the chat box or ask us directly. We have our expert Hemlatta ma'am and Ajay sir with us, so they will resolve all your doubts and queries related to process application. So we if someone have any question, they can write us in the chat box. So as the teacher and a special educator both are verified now the headmaster should assign the classes to the teacher and special educator. So uh, first we want to know how the headmaster can assign part 1 screening to the teacher.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. So we'll be taking this forward. So assign screening part one. So let's see. So first, this is the responsibility of head teacher to assign screening part one. So head teacher will be going on the home page, like you can see over there, the home pages. Uh, then the head teacher will select assign screening, and after assign screening, you will find a option assign screening part one and assign screening part two. So the process for process is to assign screening part one to the teacher. So head teacher will be selecting first assign screening part one. Over here, the head teacher will be clicking on assign screening part one, new screening part one. Okay, and after that, form would you'll get a form which will ask details like classes, section, teacher's name like assigned teacher, and start and end date. So here I would like to tell you like first academic year we cannot make any changes. For select class we have to select details from the drop down. Okay, and section we can enter any detail like there are few schools there might be some names for given to each section or numbers or alphabets. Then we have to select the teacher's name from the drop down, and after that we have to select the date start and end date. In this application we have given by default 30 days for screening part 1, and if principal thinks that principal has constraints, so they may actually alter the dates, like due date can be changed by the principal and then they have to submit. After submission, we can see the screening has been assigned to the teacher, and now there will be the name of the classroom in the assigned screening page class for which the teacher has been assigned. And going forward for screening part 2, the process is similar.
So Ajay sir, this is the way how we can assign the classes to the teacher, and we can assign classes also the section to a teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
So if in my school there are 4 or 5 section, I can assign different section to different teachers.
Yes, ma'am. For example, section A for teacher 1, section B for teacher 2. So this can be done.
This can be done, and the application give 30 days for the screening for the part 1 screening.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So now, how the headmaster can assign part 2 screening to a special educator?
Yes, ma'am. Going forward, we'll be seeing like for part 2 screening, the process is similar. The head teacher has to go to assign screening tab on her main page, and after that they will be selecting assign screening part 2. Followed with they have to assign new screening part 2, and in assign new screening part 2 they have to select details of the special educator from the drop down, select start date, end date, and then the class. For special educator we have not given sections. The reason behind this was that We first, there are very few special educators in India. Secondly, a special educator would be associated with multiple school at a time. Third, if special educator is associated with multiple school, so if a class has four section, this means their list would go around for around 10 schools. Their list would be of 40 different classes, and the number of students in each class would be very low. So that's the reason we have given only class based on the feedback received from various special educators across country.
Okay. So, Ajay sir, just as you explained this, we can headmaster can assign the teacher multiple assign the teacher sections also,
Yes, sir.
but for the in the case of a special educator, only class
Classrooms
assigned.
can be
So if
assigned.
in my school there are four section in class two, so in the for when I assign this class to the special educator, all four section assigned to the same special educator.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So
So,
so now the class is assigned, sir.
yes, our class is assigned. Now here we can see there's a message which says screening acceptance pending. This means once the screening is assigned to special educator, now special educator has to accept this screening. Acceptance means give an acknowledgement to the head teacher that he or she has seen the screening. So we'll be seeing this in further steps, like how this takes place when we'll be explaining about screening part 2. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
So,
this is the procedure of class assigning. So now, when the after teacher and a special educator verification and assigning part one and part two screening to the teacher and special educator, now the responsibility of teacher is started in the process application. Now, teacher should add the student in the class in the assigned classes, and we receive 3 and 4 queries related to the how we can add the student in the classes. So, Hemlatta ma'am, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
So, ma'am, we want to know how the teacher can add the student in their assigned classes.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. Let's see. That's the most important thing after receiving the classes, that how we are going to add student in our class. This is the teacher dashboard. We can see that. And we have to click on the start screening part 1 and see. I will get this button here. Here, start screening part 1. I'm going to click on this. So once I click on this, I will get these classes which is assigned to me. Balvatika 1 section A is assigned to me. Assigned date, start date and deadline means last date is mentioned here. I just click on this class because I want to add a student here. So you can see the add student plus button is here in a blue color. We have to click on this. Now we click on this. We see that 3 options available to add student. Add individual means you can add student one by one. Bulk upload means you can upload the student list by using our CSV file template, which is available in this application. We'll show you how you can do that. And import existing means you can retrieve data which you have previous year, which you have screened in a previous year. Means if your school has done PRASHAST screening in last year, you can retrieve that data and you can use this data for the next year. Yeah, let's see one by one how we are going to do. Now we see first add individual. Add individual, again you have to click on add student. Yeah, you can see that add individual student here. You have to click on this. Now you can see the list here, profile for the student. You need to write down the name of the student, registration ID. Registration ID could be any ID which can represent students' unique number in the school system. It can be GR number, it can be admission number, it can be any other number which you are using to identify students as a unique. You can enter here and you use that students UDIS code number if you have. Definitely you have, and Prasad Tapar ID, if the student says, you can enter that, and your academic year is already filled. So now you have entered this detail for the students. You can see that one student's added to the My School system. So it is the process for the individual, add individual means one single entry you can add one by one. Let's see the other process. That is the bulk upload. How we will do this? Now in bulk upload, you have to click on add student button again. Let's see. Now this is the bulk upload option. You have to click on this. Now, yeah, this is the template available for you. You need to download this template, first of all. And once download, you just see that template, that proper format is given for entering the student's data. I think screen was left. Can you help me, Ajay, on this particular screen?
Sorry,
Bulk upload. Yeah.
ma'am, I'm sharing again.
Ha. Bulk upload. Yeah. Yes. You can see that this is the template available. We have to fill the student's detail as per the format available in this template. And then you need to click the next one. Yeah. Ajay, can you full screen? Yeah, thank you. Now, once you upload this information, once you enter this, prepare this template, you need to upload this template on this space, and once you upload this template, your student's detail will be available to the class assigned to you. So this is the bulk upload method. Now we are going to see the import existing method, that how we are going to do with the import existing. Let's see here the same thing in add students button, import existing button is there. You need to click on that. Once you click on that, you find that previous year academic year is also there. You select that previous year academic year, and then you need to you can add this data here. Select the class and section you can enter, and you can submit so that you will get the data from the previous year if your school has screened student in the PRASHAST application. So you can import from the previous year. So both the three methods is available: add individual students, bulk upload, and import existing data from the application if you have screened in a previous year. So this is the method by which you can add student. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Hemlatta ma'am, for explaining how the teacher can add the student in their classes. And there are three methods, and I think it is very easy to use all three methods after the demonstration. So before going forward, because the student is added in the classes, now teacher need to perform part one screening. We received two question, and question are same. What is APAR ID? So this question to you, Ajay sir, ki what is APAR ID, which is mentioned in the application for the student data.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, APAR ID is ID given by Ministry of this is an automated account registry, whose full form states that automated permanent academic account registry. So this is a unique number provided to each and every student in India. But as we all know that this is an ongoing process, and all the students might not have this APAR number. So the schools which have who have generated APAR ID for the students can enter the details of the student along with the APAR ID. And for the students or the schools that have not generated yet, they may leave it blank for time being till the APAR ID is generated for all the students.
Okay, so Himlata ma'am, is this APAR ID is mandatory to enter, or we can?
No, ma'am.
We can.
No, not at a mandatory. If it is available, it's good enough. You can use it right now. And whenever you receive that, you register for the APAR, you can use it. Otherwise, not available, not an issue. Yeah.
Okay, now I think our participant get the answer कि APAR ID is not mandatory, and this is a government ID. So for the student, now we go further. Ajay sir, कि how the teacher can perform part two screening after adding the student in the classes.
Yes, ma'am. No, now we'll be continuing with the process to add students. So to conduct, no, we have added student right now, so we'll be taking forward to conduct screening part one. So the teacher will have to go to their dashboard and they can start screening by clicking on start screening part one. On clicking this option, the teacher will be having the list of classes assigned to him or her. Right now we can see the status is in progress because we have started adding student. So after clicking this, we'll get the name of students who are to be screened, and on clicking the details or clicking the name of the student, we'll get we'll see a brief profile of the student with all the details that we have entered. Okay, and here I want to highlight, like, the teacher will have option to edit or remove student first. Secondly, if the teacher feels that the details are correctly filled, then they can actually start screening part 1. On clicking this option, like start screening part 1, the teacher will be taken forward to the checklist. Now, this is the checklist we were talking about earlier in this presentation, that screening part 1 contains a checklist. So the teacher will be observing the students' behavior, and based on their observation, they will be reading the options and give a tick mark to the options that are relevant to the student. And if the teacher feels that the student does not show any of the behavior that needs to be marked, so there's an option by scrolling down, there's an option of none of the above. And once the screening is done, like the teacher has selected all the options, they can go to save and submit. Or if the teacher feels that they need to revisit this form, they can save the progress. So we'll be going forward with save and submit. After clicking on save and submit, there will be an pop-up asking for confirmation. After clicking on this, we'll get the option like we'll see screening part 1 is successfully completed and data has been submitted successfully. So, and this is also reflected on the page where we can see the list of students as the status shows completed. So here I would like to add one more thing. Like, once the teacher has completed screening of all the student, we request all the teachers to please click on close screening so that the application, Prashast application registers or marks the class has completed. Like Balvatika 1 over here, we can see in the uh, earlier slides, like the status of the screening is in progress. Once we click on close screening, the status will be changed to completed. So this is the process of screening part 1, and the teacher can see the history of the students or the options that he or she has selected for a particular student.
So in the part one screening, the teacher only need to observe the student in the for 15 days, 10 to 15 days, and with discuss with their colleagues, the students, and the other subject teacher and parents, and just read these statements. And if he or she find any behavior in the student, just tick on that and submit this form.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is a part one screening. I think this is very simple and it can be completed in 2 or 3 minutes by the teacher. So when the part one screening is completed, so if the teacher observe any behavior, so this student uh, sent to the
Screening.
special educator for part 2 screening.
Yes, ma'am.
And if the teacher don't observe any behavior, in that case, what will happen, sir?
If the teacher does not observe any behavior, then this application would be treating that the screening part 2 has been auto closed, and then the students will not be taken forward for screening part 2.
Okay. So because in our case the student teacher observed two behaviors in this student, so this student will be sent to the special educator. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, Hemlatta, my question to you, as the headmaster verified special educator request and assign the classes. So where we can see where the special educator can see these requested the assigned classes, and how he can see how many schools he or she joined.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Anchal ma'am. This is very important step for the special educator, that once the class is assigned by the principal, how the special educator needs to be notified. So application has given a special feature to the special educator. Bell icon you must see. If there is a notification over there, you need to click on this. And one more thing I will show you, that in a view all, you can see the list of all the schools available here. So I was just try to see that first of all bell icon, that what's the notification came to me. Let's see. Now these are two notification in which head teacher has assigned you screening part 2. Means I have received a screening part 2 for the two, basically two from two schools. So I just click on any one out of that. So I just select the second one here, and I'm just going to click on this application first. I receive this.
Hemlatta ma'am, your voice
Are
is
you
not.
sure you want to accept?
Ma'am, can
She
you
is
you repeat?
Achal Rani ma'am has requested me, and I have I have accepted her request. So this is the green button I am receiving here. Let's see. So the overall process is this, that once we notify to the special educator need to check his notification bell, click on that notification bell and accept the screening request sent by the headmaster. And once they accept, they can work for the part 2 screening. Yeah.
Okay. So, ma'am, I have one question which is in the chat box. Should I add all the children in the class to this?
For the part 1, definitely part 1 teacher needs to add.
Shamshina ma'am asked this question and she did not mention. As we know that
Yeah, it's a part 1 only. Yeah. So
divide.
we need to add every student for the part 1 as a teacher. We need to screen all the students for the part 1. And once we complete part 1 and we selected some of the students, we have highlighted that 63 statement for the students. Only those students are going to be screened for the part 2. So it's very important that we complete first of all part 1. Yeah.
Okay. And we add all the students in the class.
Yes. There is no doubt about it. Yeah.
So, Sanjana ma'am, hope you received your answer. Hemlatta ma'am is saying we need to add all the students in the classes. Now, as the we aware how the special educator can see and accept the request from the headmaster side. So now the responsibility of special educator to perform the part 2 screening.
Correct.
So, Ajay sir, how the head teacher, how the special educator can perform part 2 screening?
Yes, ma'am. So now I'll be taking you through the process of part 2 screening. So for part 2 screening, first and foremost, the special educator has to accept the request, like, or the screening. So for this, they have to click on bell icon. After that, they have to select the class in which they have been assigned. And after acceptance, the special educator has to go to the respective schools, and then only after acceptance only they can see, like, the number will be reflecting on their dashboard. And once they can see the numbers, they can go to the class school in which the class is assigned. After clicking on the school, they will be able to see the list of students in a particular class in that school. Okay. And here we can see the status is not started, and even special educator can see the number of students screened in part 1, number of students screened in part 2. Okay. And over here, the option says that start screening part 2. And on clicking the option start screening part 2, the special educator will be able to see what the teacher has marked for a particular student, and they can proceed to screening part 2. And on clicking on screening part 2, the special educator will have option to select disability based on their observation for any student. There could be cases where the special educator would say that the behavior that teacher has observed are leading to no disabilities, like the student has no disability as of now. So they can select no disability, or they can select the disabilities listed that can be more in number, or they can be equal to what teacher has observed, or they can be even less based on the nature of the disability a student is having. And like for in this example, we'll be selecting the disability locomotor disabilities, and on clicking on proceed, we'll be having a list of questionnaire. And in this questionnaire, we have made sure that the head teacher has to select either of the options, either yes or no. Once that is done, and if the head teacher has to select the check boxes wherever required or relevant, And after that, they can also give their observation in text form. And once that is done, they can save or save and submit. After submitting this application or the screening part 2, we can see screening part 2 completed and view screening part 2 history. Now, at this point of time, the special educator has completed the screening and they cannot make any changes. They can only view history or download report for any individual student. Yes, ma'am. So this was an overall process of screening part 1 and part 2. And sir, ma'am, we have also shared a post-assessment form. We request you to please fill the link so that we can send a related presentation or any other relevant material on your email, which will be registered in the form given below or in the chat box.
Okay, as a we received 3 questions in the chat box.
Yes,
These are very important question. One from a Samsung device and one from the Divya ma'am. So we will take your all question just after the completion of the single teacher. Hemlatta ma'am, this is for you. Ki, if there are some school in India where only one teacher we have. Hemlatta ma'am, you are available with us?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are so many schools in India where we have only single teacher who are working as a teacher or headmaster, and there are some cases when only headmaster running the whole school. So how a headmaster can perform multiple role, and if a teacher only and need to perform multiple role to manage a school,
Yeah.
so how they can work in this application?
So, very important feature we have developed for the present PRASHAST application, which was not available in the previous version, where the single teacher school means one individual is performing the role of teacher as well as head teacher can use this function and perform the task under the head of the PRASHAST application. Let's see how it will work. So, I will request all the teachers, those who are working as a single individual for the school system, you must register for the PRASHAST application first as a head teacher. Why? Because head teacher profile only allow you to become a teacher for the same school. So first we have to register as a head teacher and go through the dashboard first. You will find that profile logo and you have to click on that profile logo first. You have to register as a head teacher and click on the dashboard. Under the dashboard, you find that below profile logo. You have to click that profile logo. Let's see. Now, in the profile logo, you can see that the PRASHAST account number for the head teacher. You need to copy this number first. And I need to copy that. Now, I need to go with this button. That is the Manage Teacher button. You can see that Manage Teacher button. I'm just clicking on that. This feature available in the head teacher profile, so that we request all the single teacher first log in as a head teacher. Now you need to click on this Manage Teacher button. I just click on that. Now in Manage Teacher, there is a special feature available, Add Teacher. Now you have to click on this button, blue button. I just click on that. And you have to enter your PRASHAST account, which I have already copied from my profile, because I am going to register as a teacher for this school. So I just enter my own PRASHAST account number and I submit. Once I enter this account number, I will submit this. Now you can see that I will receive the OTP for my mobile number. And this OTP received by myself only, because I am the only head teacher who is going to register myself as a teacher also. So I will enter this OTP here and click on the submit button. Now I enter the OTP. Now the teacher has been successfully added by the head teacher. Means I am already registered as a head teacher and I have added myself as a teacher in the school system. Okay, you can see that now Ajay Prasad is added as a teacher here. Now you can see this is the drop down button will show you that as a Ajay Prasad, you are registered as a head teacher as well as teacher. I'll just click on this. I have both the option availability. Once I click on head teacher, I can work as a head teacher. If I click on this button, a teacher, I can work as a teacher, and I need to submit this. I can work accordingly as per the available profile to me. Yeah. This is the feature we can use for the single teacher school points of view.
So, ma'am, it is very easy. Even a person who is in the teacher, working as a teacher in the school and don't have a headmaster. So, for working as a to manage the school, he or she need to register himself as a headmaster.
Yes, first as a headmaster, and then select themselves in the manage teacher and enter your process account number. You will select it as a teacher. You yourself have to select yourself as a teacher. Yeah,
Okay, so first they need to register as a headmaster, then they can manage themselves as a teacher
as
also.
a teacher. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Hemlatta ma'am. Now I think there are many queries related to this single teacher school is resolved because there are a lot of person who wanted to work as a in a multiple role. So in chat box we received many questions and I will take one by one. First question is Abhijit sir, and I just said this is for you and I think you already answered, but maybe there are some other person who have the same question, so it will help them to resolve this issue. So the question is we are trying to log in our headmaster position, but app see headmaster already registered.
Yes, ma'am.
But headmaster is not registered yet. How to solve this?
Yes, ma'am. These issues are arriving because for a particular school, in the earlier application, there might be some headmaster associated with it, or the current headmaster who is logging in, their login details might have changed, like the details they have provided in Aadhaar and what they have registered earlier. So, in all these cases, we request you to please write us on Precious Help Desk. I have shared that email, and asking us to delete the earlier or the head teacher associated with the particular school. And we also request you to please include your mobile number, name, and UDICE code so that our team can first resolve at the earliest. And if any other detail is required, they can get in touch with you.
Okay, sir. So in that case, when the school showing already existing headmaster, then this headmaster need to request us.
Hmm.
So they can write us on the process help desk.
Yes, ma'am.
This is from Divya. Sir, how to change the role of teacher as a headmaster? I think this is a promotion case or the transfer case. Teacher want to change the role as a headmaster.
Yes, ma'am. For this, I want to show on the slide where we will get this option. So for any change, like in transfer, there are few cases where the earlier teacher cannot be reached. Apart from that, we have built in a process that can be managed at the end of the user. First, the user has to go to the profile page, and in profile, the user can find uh, change option in the school information. So suppose the teacher has been transferred to another school, and there is a head teacher in that school. So the new head teacher will be opting to the change option in their profile, and over there they will be getting an option to enter the UTICE code of the school in which they will be taking charge. So once they will be filling those details, the Precious application will be sending a request to the principal of the school where the new teacher is coming, head teacher is coming, and after his approval, the new head teacher can take the charge in the school.
Okay, sir. And the similar, one more question we received. I think this is a similar question. Ma'am, in this app, our headmaster name is linked with previous school name, where he's already worked for several years. Now we need to change the new school name in the app, but we could not change the school name that even submitted URI's code. Maybe his request is pending. I think that's why he's not able to change the request.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, if I'm able to understand correctly, like in the principal's profile, they can see the name of the earlier school, but after promotion or the change of school, they cannot find this names updated. So, ma'am, in that case, we would request to first go to change option and include, add request change for the new UDICE code. And if that doesn't happen, like if the teacher or head teacher in the new school is not approving that request, we request you to write on Precious Help Desk for any change at the back end.
Okay, sir. There is two cases in change school. I think, though provision. One is if the teacher is promoted or change. So for change, you can select. You can enter the UDICE code, and for promotion, you need to just change your role.
Yes, ma'am.
Two things in this application. For both, you need to click on the change option. So here Divya ma'am is answering in the chat box. First, her question is, sir, how to change the role as a teacher to headmaster? And I think he requested, and now in his phone it is showing request pending.
Okay, for pending request, I would like if the request is pending from the side of a head teacher. So okay, so the first way is like you can ask the head teacher to do. If that is not happening, you can write us to PRASHAST help desk so that we can see what else can be done from our technical team.
Ma'am, I think Ajay sir is want to say ki there is a headmaster in your school, and now you wanted to become a headmaster. When you requested to become a headmaster, this request sent to the existing headmaster. So if he or she will accept your request, you become the headmaster. And if they don't accept your request and you will find their request is pending for long time, then you can reach out to our help desk, write us an email, then we will try to resolve this issue. So just wait for 1 or 2 days, then we will try to resolve this issue if you write to us. So one more question we received. This is, should headmaster do anything to move screening list to special educator after teacher does part 1 screening?
No, ma'am. The headmaster does not. After assigning, headmaster will, don't have to do anything. They will be just observing the screening, the deadlines are met or not. Else, the list of the students will be automatically transferred to the special educator, the assigned special educator, once screening part 1 is completed.
Okay, so just sir, when a teacher completed part 1 screening and observe any behavior in the student, that student automatically transferred to the special educator for part 2 screening.
Yes.
Okay. So I think, sir, you received your answer.
And ma'am, we have received one more query, like if the headmaster has retired. In this case also, ma'am, we would request, ma'am or sir, we would request, please write a mail on Prashast's help desk requesting us to delete the account, delete the earlier or the retired head teacher for a particular UDICE code.
Okay. So can we show the help desk in the screen, sir, so everyone can write?
Or take
And
screenshot on their phones if they're attending on the
yes.
phone. Yes.
So if you have any issue and query and not your issue is not resolved, so you can write us on the Prasad help desk, and we will try to resolve your issue in 24 to 48 hours. So there are two hand raised. If they have any question, so you can ask us. And now I like to request Krishna Kumar KN sir, District Coordinator, Palakkad. Sir, if anything from your side, so you can add. And Deepa Joseph ma'am, we like to request you to kindly ask all the participant in Malayalam if they have any query, so you can translate their question to us. Deepa Joseph ma'am and Krishna Kumar sir.
Yes, madam. I'll ask in Malayalam. നോക്കൂ, ഈ സൂം മീറ്റിംഗ് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആർക്കെങ്കിലും ഇനി എന്തെങ്കിലും സംശയം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ ചോദിക്കാം. അത് നമുക്ക് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിന്റെ ഉത്തരങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞു തരും. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട്സ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ക്ലാരിഫൈ ചെയ്യാം. ഇപ്പൊ ചോദിക്കാം.
ദീപ, എനിക്ക് ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ട്. ഞാന്
പറയൂ.
എന്റെ HM ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ ആയി പോയി. അപ്പൊ പുതിയ HM വന്നപ്പോ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുമ്പോ ഓൾറെഡി HM ലോഗിൻ കാണിച്ചു. അപ്പം നമ്മൾ ആ വീഡിയോ ക്ലാസ് കണ്ടിരുന്നല്ലോ, ഒരു 5 വീഡിയോ ക്ലാസ്. അതിൽ കണ്ടത് പ്രകാരം നമ്മൾ HM ടീച്ചറായി ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്തു. എന്നിട്ട് അവിടെ സ്കൂൾ ചേഞ്ച് ഇൻഫോർമേഷനിൽ ഹെഡ് മാസ്റ്റർ എന്ന് ചേഞ്ച് കൊടുത്തിട്ട് ഒരു 4-5 മാസമായിട്ട് റിക്വസ്റ്റ് പെൻഡിങ് കാണിച്ചുകൊണ്ടേ ഇരിക്കുകയാണ്. അതിലൊരു അപ്ഡേഷനും വന്നിട്ടില്ല. ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോഴും നോക്കി.
അല്ല, നമ്മളിപ്പോ പറയുന്നത് ആ പ്രശസ്തിന്റെ ആ ഹെൽപ്പ് ഡെസ്കിലേക്ക് ഒരു മെയിൽ ചെയ്താൽ അവര് വേണം ആ ഹെഡ് മാസ്റ്ററിനെ ഡിലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ. അവർ അവിടെ നിന്ന് ഡിലീറ്റ് ചെയ്താൽ മാത്രമാണ് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനിൽ നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ നിന്ന് ഇനി ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി പറ്റുള്ളൂ. അതാണ് ഇപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലായത്.
അതെ, അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ഇമെയിൽ ഐ ഡി മെസ്സേജ് ചെയ്ത് ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്, അപ്പൊ തരുമായിരിക്കും അല്ലേ?
തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ആ മെയിൽ ഐ ഡി നമുക്ക് സ്ക്രീൻ ഷെയർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, അത് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട്.
ഓക്കെ ശരി.
Ma'am, they were asking the same doubt. Their headmaster have retired from the school and they are not able to log in the new headmaster who's appointed in that school. I've cleared the doubts, madam.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And if they write to us, we remove the retired headmaster.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, madam. Yes, I've told that.
Okay. So, any other question?
And one more query, madam. As you said, all the class teachers should do part 1 for all the children in her classroom, or is it necessary that they do only the at-risk children?
Actually, ma'am, this screening tool is for the all children, because as we know, as Hemlatta ma'am asked earlier, and Ajay sir also asked in the earlier, there are so many disability which cannot see. So in that case, how we know the children is CWSN or not? So it is required, it is necessary to screen all the child, that we can know. And if you have any doubt, so you can perform this screening in your school, and you get to know there are a huge difference in the data you have before the screening and after the screening.
Yeah. Even Anchal ma'am, we need to mention that even if the students has a UDID card, then also you have to screen your student in this application. Yeah.
Okay, so the children with a UDID card also need to enroll, have to be part of this PRASHAST app by entering in part 1 and 2.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So the last time we had a class that if a child is having a UDID card, we need not do the screening because they've already got the UDID card.
Actually, there are some cases when the child have multiple disabilities. One is visible, like the locomotor disability, and some cases they have disability like autism, SLD. So
yes, ma'am.
This disability also need interventions and help.
Yes. When the child is having a permanent UDID card after all the screening and after all the screening and assessment and everything, and if they get a permanent UDID card, should that child also be screened?
Through the PRASHAST application, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Krishnan sir, if anything else from your side, you want to add anything, and if there any query from your end, so you can ask.
No, we just want the help desk to be active. When our teachers ask some queries, we'll just forward it to that help desk. We'll email it to the help desk.
Ajay sir already posted in the chat box, and you can.
Yes, we got the mail ID now.
So we can wait 2-3 minutes, and if there is nothing from your end, so we can conclude this session.
Oh, okay. Madam, I would like to thank, on behalf of SSK Palakkad and Program Officer Krishna Kumar sir, I would like to thank Madam Hemlatta, Rajput, NCERT, Ajay sir, Anchal madam for rectifying all the doubts regarding PRASHAST application and for explaining the application very clearly. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
ആർക്കെങ്കിലും സംശയങ്ങൾ